Alright guys, welcome back to the garage. Now Sunday and just coming up to 1:45. Unfortunately it's a little bit high humidity wise. It's 70% humidity. Temperature wise it's okay, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, close to it, and going upwards. Anyway, we're planning on painting today at some point, maybe this afternoon when the humidity level drops a little bit. I might be able to get the sealer coat and the base coat done on the panels. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set them up, at least in the garage. Got to figure out some sort of clever way to do the doors, and I've been thinking about how I'm going to do that. I was thinking of hanging them, but I might have another solution for that, so stay tuned. So that's pretty much all I'm doing, just cleaning the garage out. So we'll I've gave it a quick sweep out, we'll give it a blowout, and then we'll give it a wash out in preparation for getting this into paint, or starting to paint today. So that's what I'm in the process of doing now. Alright guys, quick update for you just after 5 p.m. So we've got the fenders and the doors set up where we think we can get after them as far as the painting is concerned. So now we're just going through them and giving them one final clean down, and any sort of touch-ups that need to be done as far as sanding. This one had a little bit of overspray. I think it was from when I repaired this area here. So I've just gone back and have sanded that back down with 600 grit and cleaned that up. So we'll go through, like I said, the whole series of panels again with Windex, grease and wax remover, and rubbing alcohol is our final wipe. So I'll probably be able to get these into some sort of color tomorrow, hopefully, if the weather cooperates. But what we're going to do tonight is we're just going to concentrate on cleaning these and making sure we have them prepped properly in order to go forward to the next step. A little sketchy on the doors, but I figured this was a better solution than mounting them from the ceiling. They are quite heavy actually, so this seemed to work fairly good. There's pockets in the doors obviously, and I've got the jack stands up in the pockets. I don't know if you can be able to see that or not. So I should be able to get most of the inside of the panel covered, although it's not that important because obviously that area is covered by a door panel anyway. So I just want to make sure that I get you know, 75% of it covered. I'm not too worried about the center part, but obviously we want to make sure that we have all the exterior parts covered that are not covered by a door panel. Alright, so the rest of the evening will be spent cleaning and organizing the garage, getting it ready for tomorrow. Alright, good morning guys. Today is an exciting day. It's finally paint day. Just coming up to 7 a.m. and we're out to do our final wipe down on the panels before we get it into black epoxy sealer. And then we'll move on to putting it into 3 base coats of royal blue. Then we'll let it dry for approximately 5 to 6 hours before we break out the tape and do our stripe on the front fenders. Then we'll do the final 3 coats of clear, hopefully all in one day today. So wish me luck. Hopefully I'll have a good paint day out here and we won't have too many disasters to report at the end of the day. So let's get crack-a-lackin'. Alright guys, we're just about ready to go. We've got the fenders and doors wiped down with one last prep of rubbing alcohol. We're going to wet the floor down. We've got the fans out. We're going to mix up our black epoxy sealer, which is mixed 1:1 to 1/2 of reducer. Based on the temperature, we're going to go with a medium reducer. It's just 72-ish Fahrenheit. It's about 60% humidity. So humidity is a little bit high in the morning. It's going to drop during the afternoon, so that will be good. So we'll give it a little extra flash time for the epoxy to dry. Again, it suggests a half an hour. We'll give it at least an hour before we go to base coat. So we're going to go ahead and wet the floor down, then we'll mix our primer up, our epoxy primer up, and we'll shoot that first sealer coat and get on with it. Finally. Alright, 8:15 a.m. and the panels are epoxied in black. We sprayed out not too bad. So we'll let these dry for an hour before we go to base coat. I think I got everything. Alright, we'll be back. Alright guys, back in the garage after an hour waiting for the epoxy sealer to flash off. We've got our base coat mixed up. And we're just about to tack cloth off the panels, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start spraying the base coat color. Alright guys, we're about 2 hours into the drying time of the base coat. We're going to wait till at least 4 to 5 hours before we attempt to stripe on it. But I think the panels look like they sprayed out pretty well. I don't see any problems. Looks like my coverage was pretty good. So we can continue on to our striping as mentioned with that pearl stripe. And then we'll move on to the 3 coats of finishing clear. So yeah, I think everything looks pretty good. Now, weather is perfect actually for painting. It's about, well, getting up to close to 85 degrees out here, and we're at, it looks like 35% humidity, which is just about perfect. So things are looking good. Again, we'll just have to take our time when we do the striping. Hopefully that will turn out okay, and then we can go to our finishing 3 coats of clear coat. I have to make a decision on the clear coat. I've got slow hardener and medium hardener. The slow is for higher temperatures, and the medium is obviously for medium temperatures. So I might do a little bit of a cocktail and mix the medium and the slow together, and that should probably spray out pretty well based on the conditions that I'm going to have when I'm ready to spray the clear. Unless the temperature drops down towards the evening, I may go back to just a straight medium hardener, but we'll see when it comes time to actually spray out the clear coat. Alright, that's it for now. We'll come back in a couple hours. Alright guys, it's been 4 hours, and we're just out doing a touch test on the fenders to see if we can start our taping process. We've got the tape out ready to go. We've got our measurements ready to go. Just got to grab our measuring tape. And then we can start laying out these fender stripes, wing stripes, and hopefully that will go without too much issues. So wish me luck. Once we come back, I'll show you the taped area before we proceed to the pearl clear coat. Alright guys, side stripes are now masked out, and I think they're going to be okay. Won't really tell until we get them on the car, will we? Anyway, so the blue stripe gets removed, or the blue tape gets removed, and we're good to go there. Obviously we need to mask up the panels with some overspray paper. We need to mask up all of those and the doors as well, so we don't get any of that pearl on them. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So we'll break out the clear mask, and then we'll mix up that clear coat with the pearl additive, spray this, and then wait a few minutes for it to flash off, and then we'll do the final 3 coats of clear. That's the process. It's a long one. I get a huge amount of respect for guys that do those lowrider style cars with all those graphics. I can't even imagine trying to do a car like that. I find this little bit of striping just very stressful. So I can imagine doing one of those lowrider styles with all those different graphics and tape lines and stuff like that. That would just be mind-boggling to me. Alright, let's get these masked up. Well, as you can probably see, it's quite the ordeal to paint 2 little stripes. I'm kind of laughing at myself. Anyway, it is what it is. So next thing to do is to remove the blue, and we're ready to go with our pearl clear. So hopefully it should just come off nicely. So make sure we pull the right one. Okay. We'll go around once more and make sure that all the tape is stuck down where it needs to be. Make sure there's no tape where it shouldn't be. Anyway, that's what we're up to. So getting closer. One more check, and then we'll be ready to go. Alright, a quick shot of the stripe before we go to the next step. Turned out not too bad. It looks like I got a bit of a sag there, but we'll see if that corrects itself with the top coats of clear. And this side looks okay. So we'll move on to the 3 coats of clear to finish this panels, or these panels. Wish me luck. Home stretch. Don't screw up. Alright guys, 3 coats of clear are on. Just coming up to 7 p.m. So that was quite the job. Anyway, it's in the danger zone. I'm going to turn the lights off, and hopefully we'll get less bugs that way. And we'll come out and have a little look at it once it's out of the danger zone. Alright guys, just after 8 p.m. and I thought I'd come out and take a quick look. It's been an hour since they were clear coated, so still a little bit tacky. I'm just going to be careful wandering around out here not to stir up any dust. So overall I think things look like they turned out okay. There are some runs, and I'll show you those in a second, and there was a little bit of an issue with my stripe. I'll take you through each panel. So door wise, I think we look pretty good. Again, I'm going to have to wait and see in more of a better light, but for the most part it looks pretty good. Some trash, just ignore the trash, but seems to have sprayed up pretty well. Again, I'm sure I'll find more issues when I get them outside, but from looking inside they look pretty good. That's one door. Here's the other door. Don't think I see any runs on the doors, which is good. This one doesn't have too much trash in it. Got some there. Pretty good over there. Again, we're sort of still in the danger zone here, so I'm going to turn the lights off as soon as I get out of here. Alright, so not bad. Alright, let's have a look at the fenders. Ghost stripe. This one looks like it turned out okay. It's not perfect. Looks like I got a little bit of maybe a run, but I think it's going to be okay. There's nothing I can do about it anyway, so I'm going to live with it regardless, but I think that's okay. Now, as far as the runs are concerned, it's funny, I ran this panel in the exact same area, and I think it's because of the wing vents. This is actually a pretty severe run, but I've got a run starting here, so it obviously dripped off this edge, but I've got a pretty severe run here, so hopefully I'll be able to sand this out. That's a pretty good sag there. I was trying to get clear into that opening, and I guess I got a little too close to the panel and we ran that, so that'll be fun to sand out, but I'm pretty sure I can fix that. But the rest of the panel looks pretty good, but that is a pretty good sag there. Anyway, we'll have fun fixing that. Then on this one, again, same area, to a lesser degree though. Bit of a sag coming down here. Don't know if you'll be able to see this on video or not, but the rest of the panel looks pretty good back here. Again, a little bit of a sag in there. It dropped off that edge. Now this stripe, had a little bit of an issue down here. You can see how it sort of, the clear ran and it pulled the pearl a little bit. Again, there's nothing I can do about it. It's not bad, it's not perfect. It's something I can live with. It'll probably be a little bit more visible. I'm not sure how that'll actually look in the light. It actually may look better in the light versus being here in the dark. It's hard to say. But anyway, the rest of it looks pretty good. Rear fenders, they look like they sprayed out pretty well. I don't know if I've got, I got a little bit of a sag here, maybe. Little one, not a huge one. It looks pretty good. And this one, looks pretty good. I don't think I see anything wrong with this one. Maybe a little sag there. Again, these all have to be wet sanded anyway. Some will just take a little bit more work than others. Yeah, I think that might be the only little area that I'm not 100% happy with. So this fender is almost actually perfect, which is good. So a little bit of work still to be done, but they are painted. I'm extremely happy that they're painted. And you see that stripe a little bit more. Again, it sort of pulled the pearl a little bit from that stripe down, but I think it's going to be okay. So hopefully, like I said, we'll be able to get these runs out. The most severe one being on this fender over here. It's not in the absolute best area, but there's a little bit of a flat there, and then it starts getting into the curvature of the wheel well, so that might be a little bit more of a challenge. And that one there. But anyway, we'll have a better look, like I said, once we get these out in the light outside, but that's not going to be obviously for the next day or two. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow anyway. All right, we'll shut the lights off and we'll call the night out here, and then we'll get back out here maybe just to have another look at them tomorrow with the garage doors open, and we'll see if we can find any more problem areas that we're going to need to address in the future. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for commenting, and we'll see you later.